Oh man, that's Articuno, baby. We're in this. Let's go. Oh, beautiful. We almost got every single legendary. We didn't get any doubles though. That stinks. That's a Moltres. And that's a twofer, guys. That's a twofer. We have every single legendary. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. All right, let's go. For science. Oh, baby. Okay, so Mewtwo does not require 5 mystical shells at all. Oh, yes. That's a Mew, baby. That's Pokedex completion. Blue Mew. Dang it. All right, that's fine. What's going on, everyone? It's Abdallah here with a legendary tutorial video for Pokemon Quest on Nintendo Switch, iOS, and of course Android mobile devices. So, you guys saw those legends at the beginning, right? We're going to show you by the end of this video how to get Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Mewtwo, and of course the legendary Mew. It's going to be awesome. And not only are we going to show you the recipes for those, but we're going to give you the recipes that are the best ones, which will save you a lot of the mystical shells. So if you guys are excited for it, definitely smash that like button, share this video so we get a lot more people on board with getting these legendaries. So let's jump on into it and we'll show you exactly what is going on. So I'm excited. Legendary Pokemon are always a very popular topic. I love getting them. I mean, look at Mewtwo's just exerting his power on top of this totem of Articuno and Alakazam. He's just like, yeah, I'm the best over here. I'm way better than this shiny little Drowsy over here. Any other legends floating around? Yeah, we got Moltres floating around. But anyway, we got every single one of them, and we had a great time doing it live. So in case you guys have missed that video, there's going to be a little eye in the corner. You guys click on that, watch us cook live. It's going to be great. But here's the Cliff Notes version of it. So without further ado, I'll show you guys the recipe that we're going to be looking at, and I'll show you about all the ingredients that you need. So first things first is you're going to have to cook something called the Ambrosia of Legends a la cube. Now, you guys won't have access to this unless you've beaten the main story mode. And the main ingredient for this is the mystical shells. Mystical shells are super rare. But Abdallah, you have 72 of them. Yeah, we'll get there. I'll show you guys how to farm those really easily. But nonetheless, you guys are going to have to use some mystical shell recipes in this game in order to cook for Legends. So you guys might be wondering, hey Abdallah, how do you get mystical shells? Let's go figure that out one at a time. So we're going to stop cooking. We'll give you guys those recipes in just a bit, but I want to show you guys how to get mystical shells. So, while you guys are playing the game, right, we all started over here in the first step, right? And then we went over here, we got our pot, we started cooking some new Pokemon, and then we got some newer Pokemon over here. We may have come against a wall a couple times. And then, of course, after we've beaten World 10, we had access to, right over here, World 11, which was the Chamber of Legends, and you beat Mewtwo. Now, of course, if you guys have not beaten Mewtwo yet, keep trying. Feel free to use Machamp with 3 slots and bulk up, because that's really endgame material right there. So you guys can see on board, that's the team that I use in order to beat all of the in-game content. And you guys can see that once you beat Mewtwo, you'll have access to Happenstance Island. Inside Happenstance Island is all of these 9 levels in which you guys will have access to the mystical shell drops in the game. The higher up you go in difficulty, the more chances of dropping them. Now, you'll see on screen over here that we're going to be pounding through some of the levels in order to get some of these drops. Now, my team consists of 2 Machamps and Alakazam. One Machamp has bulk up and, of course, 3 slots. The other Machamp is more offensively based with close combat. And, of course, Alakazam is providing long-distance psychic blasts. But as you guys can see over here, there's a lot going on to it. We did do an analysis of my team, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out as well. How to beat Mew and Mewtwo, of course, the last secret final bosses in Happenstance Island. So go check that out. So now you guys know exactly how to get these drops, right? You beat these levels, sometimes the Pokemon will drop them. There's no guarantee if you fight a legendary boss at the end that they're going to drop these shells. And of course, if you are sitting on a lot of Pokemon PM tickets, make sure that you guys use them if you do lose a battle. It only costs 30, and if you've already bought the DLC, you have access to tons of the tickets, 200 tickets every 22 hours. So don't be stingy on your tickets. Come on now. Spend them for your shells. You want them, right? You guys want legendaries? Do it. All right. So now that's out of the way, let's take a look at this. So now that you have at least 3 mystical shells, you only need 3 mystical shells in order to get legendaries. Now, if you look up websites online, they're going to say that, oh yeah, in order to get Mewtwo, you need to get all of these mystical shells in order to cook for Mewtwo. That is definitely not the case. You don't even need 4. You don't even need 3. You don't even need 2. And you definitely, yeah, dude, you just need 1. You just need one. That's it. So the recipe, in order to get every single one of these legendary Pokemon, there is, of course, the same chance of getting equal ones. So, you know, all of it, what are there, 5 legendaries, 1/5 of a chance of getting one of those guys. And then, of course, you got your shiny odds as well. So all you really need is one of these Mystical Shell special ingredients, one of the rainbow matter, which if you guys are playing along in the game, you'll find these all throughout the levels before World 12. And these are pretty relatively rare drops. I would say don't ever cook with all of these guys. Just don't do it. Some people are like, oh dude, rainbow matter. Yeah, rainbow matter is the way to do it. So I'm just gonna drop all my rainbow matter in here and I'm gonna cook. But that's not how rainbow matter works. It works as a substitute, and of course it boosts the quality of the recipe. So you're never going to need to cook like this. The only recipe that you guys are going to need is literally 1 shell, and then 1 matter, and you can do 3 of anything else, as long as they're big ingredients. So you can do big root, icy, honey. It really doesn't matter what these are. It can just be 3 of anything. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be, all right, well, I want Moltres, so I'm gonna do shell, matter, and then 3 of these guys, and then that's gonna be Moltres for me. You know, that's not exactly how it goes. So keep that in mind. And then it's definitely not icy, icy, icy in those, and you're gonna get Articuno. There's nothing like that. It's all the same odds of getting Mewtwo, Mew, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. And it's definitely not this for Zapdos, so just putting it out there. We've proved it during our live stream, so keep that in mind. So yeah, as you guys can tell, that is really it. I wouldn't recommend doing any small ingredients, because if you're at this point in the game where you're farming for mystical shells, there's no doubt in my mind that you can spare the 3 ingredients here, right? Okay. So some of you guys might be wondering, but Abdallah, if you cook in the regular old pot with only 3 ingredients over here, you're not going to get a super strong Pokemon. And to that I say, oh, you're absolutely right. So case in point, if you're just aiming for that Pokedex completion, that sweet 151 and be done with the game, then go for it. Cook in the smallest pot possible. Therefore, you have the cheapest recipe. It will only cost you 3 of the rainbow matter. And then of course, what happens out of that is you're going to get super low level legendaries, like these Mewtwo's over here. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of Mewtwo that came out. And of course, we had Articuno, we had Zapdos, all who came out at super low levels, and Moltres too. So that's fine. It's for Pokedex completion, so I personally don't mind that we did get those little guys. So another thing people might be saying is that, well, if you cook in the lower one, you should really save your mystical shells for at least 20 of them. And I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. That's pretty great. But see, here's the thing though. So if you somehow manage to save up for 20 of these mystical shells, that's all you need right there, 20. And then you need to fill up this with another 20 of those, and then 20 of these ingredients. Any of these guys will work. We can necessarily do that, but here's the thing. You're going to get a level 70 plus Pokemon. That's a legendary, which is great. But at the same time, if their moveset isn't as great, if their slots aren't as great, and especially if their bingos aren't as great, then you've essentially wasted 20 of your rainbow shells that you've been farming for days, if not longer. So keep that in mind as you guys are playing this game along with. If you're one of those Pokemon players that wants to strive for the best possible Pokemon, you definitely want to... You can risk it. You can totally risk it. And I'm not saying don't do it, because if you get a Pokemon that comes out of a gold pot, their individual values are going to be a lot stronger than a Pokemon that you raise from level 1 or level 15. So you're going to get the best Pokemon there, but at the same time, it's going to cost you a lot because you never know what kind of move slots you're going to get. I pulled this Mew over here. This Mew came out at like a level 1 or something. He had Hyper Beam, which is decent for him. He's not that great. But the great thing about him is that he had 3 slots over here, and he had a bunch of multi-sockets right over here as well, which the multi-sockets was absolutely stunning on this Pokemon. It's a lot more customization so that you guys can go from there. This Mewtwo, for example, we had this Mewtwo with Psychic, and 3 slots, which is a very offensive Mewtwo. And of course, if you wanted to, since he's got a couple of these multi-sockets, you can use Mewtwo as a bulk up unit, a support unit. If you reroll the Psychic and you give him bulk up, he is going to outperform Machamp any day, and he's going to be a very, very good asset to your team. So bulk up, 3 slots, and you're golden with the Share Stone. So of course, keep that in mind as you guys are playing along with. There's so many different options that you can do. And one of the last things that we're going to go over is as you cook all of these ingredients for your legendary Pokemon, there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to get multiple Mewtwo's. So you got to ask yourself, all right, so what am I going to do with each of these Mewtwo, right? So if you click on this, you're going to see their exact set. You're going to see their setup of how many HP stones they have, how many attack stones they have, and of course what their move set is. If it's going to be 1 attack and then 3 slots, or 2 attacks and only 2 slots. You need to make that determination. But aside from that, there's one more thing that you do have to pay attention to. So click on Power Charm when you click one of your Mewtwo's, and you want to take a look at bingo bonuses. Again, if you're one of those people, those Pokemon trainers that like to strive for the very best Pokemon possible, you're going to need to pay attention to bingos. So bingo bonuses right over here, whenever you pretty much get 3 of these in a row, ideally when you get all level 100, you get these bingo bonuses. So this is resistant to debuff effects, 20% up. You're never going to need that, so that's a waste of a bingo. Psychic type move weight percentage down, 20%, that's amazing. Attack of normal type moves percent up, no, you're not going to need that. So this Mewtwo over here is definitely not a Mewtwo that you want to invest in. So that being said, you can use him for fodder, you can use him for move tutoring, whatever you want, or you can just keep your boxes full of Mewtwo's. So for example over here, what did we do? I chose one Mewtwo, and he was a little bit better off than the others. So I'll take a look at this Mewtwo, and I'll show you guys exactly what we did with him. So right over here, we got relatively lucky. This one's resistant to effects. I was okay with that. You know what? It's not the best one. We got a crit hit up, which is awesome for an offensive Mewtwo. And of course, attack of psychic type moves up. So, and not to mention, we got a pretty decent balance of attack and HP stones. I can totally gear him up towards all offensive if I wanted to. And not to mention, we do have psychic and 3 slots. So it's pretty cool. So ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to bingos, pay attention to their move slots, pay attention to their stones, and then of course, yeah, just have a good time with it. And if you get a shiny legendary Pokemon, I want to see it. Tweet me a picture on Twitter. I would love to see all that. I've seen some people with shiny Mewtwo's and shiny other Pokemon. It's just really super cool. So that's going to be it for our tutorial. In this tutorial video, you guys learned exactly how to get Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres, Mewtwo, Mew. We showed you the best recipe in order to get them, and of course I showed you guys some different move sets so that you guys can bring those Pokemon into post game and be the very best that they possibly can be. Thanks so much for watching. On screen right now you guys can click on subscribe, turn on your notifications, watch our other tutorial videos, check out our Let's Play, and of course we'll see you on the next one. If this video helped you out, be sure to smash that like button and share. Have a good day.